This is my journey of switching from 5 LPA to 30 LPA remote job in just 2 months. In the last video, I told you how I went from being a bio student to top 1% engineer, and this is the sequel. At the end of my college life, after 4 years of BTech in computer science, everything was going well on paper. I had a stable job in a product-based multinational company, no work pressure at all, decent learning, but I knew I was getting comfortable with bare minimum of 5 LPA job, which is not what I stand for. When the 8-month internship ended, which took most of my final year, I had 6 months of probation, and during probation, notice period was just 1 month. So this was the best window for me to switch. I thought of preparing, but again got too comfortable with sports and other stuff in the company. But as the time went by, I panicked when I realized only 2 months were left of my probation. That's when I got serious and asked work from home from my manager and prepared like hell. I gave 2-3 interviews, but they were expecting a fresher to be more like a senior engineer. I was mainly looking for international remote jobs, and finally I found a high frequency trading startup ready to give me a real interview chance. This is where things got interesting. Because it was a European HFT startup, they did not conduct a 6-7 rounds of DSA, they just wanted to know how I think. Basically my thought process. So for the first round, they asked me to give the best piece of code I've ever written. The main problem was that the startup was expecting Python or C++ developer, but I had worked my whole life in Java, and earlier I was working in an MNC and didn't have any great personal projects. So I created a HFT related project, which was a limit order book from scratch, just for this company interview. This was one of the best decisions of my life. They were really impressed with the code and this gesture. Then came the actual interview day. I was a bit nervous, but I knew if I showed nervousness, I'll seem like an amateur to them. So I put on the confidence of a senior engineer and talked to them. They had some really unique questions to test my thought process, DSA and problem solving skills. The interview went really well, and I followed up next day for an update from their side. And within 1 week after interviewing a lot of other candidates, they finally chose me and gave me an overall offer of 30 LPA. I learned a lot in the next few months, and around 6 months later left this job even when everything was going really well. To know why I did that, comment below and subscribe to watch the next video. I'll see you there.